Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Hello, depending on where you're watching me from, how you doing? If you can see me, if you can hear me, can I see you drop your comments in the comment section? You can see me and you can hear me. If you can see me and you can hear me, can I see your comments in the comment section so that I know that you can hear me and you can see me before we continue? You can see me and you can hear me. Okay, okay. Waiting for a response. You can see me and you can hear me. If you can see me and you can hear me, I have to get a response to start so that I don't just talk in the air. Okay, I think I can see one now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nelly. Yeah, I can see you. Thank you so much, Brume. You can see and you can hear me. Welcome, welcome everyone to today's conversation. Wow. This is our first time on going live on our YouTube channel for SCP Online Conversation. And from henceforth, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. From henceforth, we'll be going live on our YouTube channel, not for a while, we'll be going live on Facebook, but we'll be going live on our YouTube channel. And I believe that you'll be here to join me monthly for this conversation. So how are you doing? How has your day been? Now, if you can share the link to your friends and family so they can be part of this conversation because it promises to be an educative conversation. So if you can, share the link to your friends, to your family. They need to be part of this conversation. They don't have to be married. They don't even have to have children yet. They can still be singles. And definitely they're going to get married. And hopefully they're going to have children in the nearest future. So they need to hear these things. They have sisters. They have younger ones. They have nephews, nieces. Everyone needs to be part of this conversation. So do well, share the link. Share the link to your friends and family. Welcome everyone. October is rounding up. Year 2025 is rounding up already. And I wonder, like, when did we get into this year? But believe you me, God has been faithful, and I believe He has been faithful to you. I've had amazing conversations this year from February to now. It has been back to back learning, empowering ourselves to become better parents, to become better individuals, to be able to raise awesome children. And we are here standing today. So today is going to be a continuation of the sex education conversation, but I'm going to be dwelling on body safety. Yes, I'm going to be engaging this conversation on body safety. So if you have your pen and paper, it would be nice if you have that, but you can always come back to watch this conversation when you're free. You know, most times when we watch conversations or we go online and take classes, sometimes we do not pick every detail at that first instance. Sometimes we have to go back and listen to it. So you can do that as well. So welcome once again. We're talking about body safety. So how many of us were in the last conversation? If you were part of the last conversation or you watched the video afterwards, can you just give me a thumbs up? It doesn't matter if you were not part of the last conversation, but if you were part, can you give me a thumbs up? I'm going to be saying some things that I said in the last conversation as we go along, because it's still a continuation of the sex educating your child conversation. So like I said, we're going to be talking about body safety. Parenting, when you're looking, we always say that parenting begins with you, the parent. It starts with you, not the child. As a parent, you must understand that you are the most, or you're a very important piece in the equation when it comes about talking about the sex conversation. You are very important in the equation. Thank you, Brume. You're part of the last conversation. You are important in the equation. They can't take you out when we're going to be talking about sex conversation. So you are that vital piece in the equation when it comes to sex conversation. So you are important. Your standpoint when it comes to sexual conversations your standpoint when it comes to morality, your standpoint when it comes to who you are, having a clear definition of your values as a parent, the line you want your children to toe in as a family is critical. Now, your beliefs, your sexual beliefs, play a major role in sexual conversation. So you must have a firm grip of where you stand. As a parent, you cannot be here today and tomorrow you're here. You cannot just be moved around with everything that is happening on social media. Okay, this is what is trending now. This is what they are saying now. Okay, this is what we need to do. You must take a stand. And as you take a stand, you can keep on improving. And that is the way for you to be able to have and start an effective sales conversation with your child or your children. So you are a vital piece in this equation. And one thing I need to say to you today is that silence is deadly. You cannot keep quiet. You cannot be quiet when it comes to sex conversation. Most times you hear people say, no, we don't need to talk about it. They are too innocent. No, we don't need to corrupt our children. The truth is that when you are silent, you are most likely mortgaging the life of your child. Because you cannot, I always say something in this conversation, you cannot hide your child under the rocks. Your child will live on this earth, will live in this world. The world is evolving, things are changing. And you must prepare your child for the future that you envisage. You must prepare your child for today. And that is where it comes with equipping them with the right values, equipping them with the right skills, with the right tools. Because when they leave your house, they need to survive. And if they do not have these survival skills, if they do not have these skills that will help them triumph and help them surmount the limitations and the challenges that we face out there, they're going to be broken individuals. So it is critical. Very critical. Now, in 2002, WHO estimated that 73 million boys and 150 million girls under the age of 18 years had experienced various forms of sexual violence. Can you imagine the number? Enormous. And it said somewhere that 95% of these abuse, sexual abuse, can be prevented through education and awareness. 95% can be prevented through education and awareness. Now, so it is so important that we educate our children. Now, you can imagine how far education will go in preventing sexual abuse. When you create an awareness that they need to understand their body autonomy, they need to understand body anatomy, they need to understand boundaries, they need to understand assertiveness. Do you know what you are doing for your child? You are saving your child from a lot of trauma. You are saving your child from a lot of depression. You are saving your child from a whole lot of things. So it is critical that we sex educate our children. Very important. The education, and it begins with you as the parents. I said something in the last conversation. You cannot leave sex educating your child to the school. It should start from your home. It has to start from your home. Sex education has to do with empowering and equipping your children with the knowledge about boundaries, about identity, gender identity, responsibility when it comes to media and online activities. It's a whole lot. But today we are going to narrow it down to body safety. So what is body safety? Now, body safety is a part of sex education, a part of sex education conversation that empowers your child to be able to get the mindset, the necessary practices and attitudes towards protecting themselves from inappropriate behavior or sexual abuse in any form. That is what body safety is. And in communicating this, every parent needs wisdom and not just emotions. So you have to have wisdom to be able to communicate effectively when it comes to sex educating your child. Now it says through wisdom a house is built. By understanding it is established, and by knowledge the house is filled with treasures. You need wisdom, and there cannot be wisdom if you do not know and you do not have the right application of that knowledge. Most times as parents we are so emotional. We see something and we are shouting and we're yelling and we're dishing out instructions, just dishing out instructions. And you wonder, your children will be looking at you, especially your preteens, your teenagers and your young adults, and you'll be wondering, what's she saying? What's he saying? And sometimes we're just on them, breathing down their throats. Just you can't. And I said something in the last conversation talking about one of the things that makes our teenagers or even our preteens or young adults or any child sometimes do the things that you ask them not to do. There are a lot of psychological factors. One of them is psychological reactance. When anyone feels threatened that their freedom is at stake, they want to do the opposite thing. So you keep breathing down. It's supposed to be a conversation, not a lecture. So you are telling the child, you are giving information with wisdom, and the child is responding and communicating. So there is a give and take. It's a conversation. It's a conversation. So with this critical experience, we communicate with wisdom and not just emotions. You can just go online and see something, you're panicking, you're coming home, and you just, hey, what is happening? Is there lying outside? We must calm down as parents. The world has evolved. Your children have access to knowledge at their fingertips. So you need wisdom. You need to know how to communicate this information. You need to know when to communicate this information. You need to know the strategies to use. So it's important. It's not just mere knowledge now. Wisdom is needed. So what are common myths to correct? There are common myths to correct. Number one myth is children are too young to learn about body safety. That's a myth. In the last conversation, I said the American Academy of Pediatricians and UNESCO guidelines suggested or said that children should start being sex educated from the ages of 2 to 3 years and with age appropriate information. So you can imagine telling a 2-year-old you have started giving that child sex education. When my child was my daughter was 2, I normally tell her, like, your body is not a toy. She understood what a toy is. A toy, you play with your toys, right? You see toddlers, you see them 2 years, 1 year, they play with their toys. So she can relate to what I'm saying. Your body is not a toy. So your body should not be played with. So at that age, there is an age appropriate information for that particular age. So the children are never too young for you to start sex educating them, teaching them about body safety. It is very important. I want to wait till my child is 10. It may be too late when the child is 10. Your child may have gotten to 10 years and your child may have already been abused or is already in the process of being abused or being exposed to a lot of content that has infiltrated into our minds and is guiding their actions. So early education can prevent abuse. Silence is deadly. Number 2 myth is it won't happen in my family. You know that kind of thing, say, hey, it will not happen in my family. Oh, yeah, it's not my family. In this page, do not say it's not my family. Somebody say never. It will not happen in your family. You are not taking intentional steps to prevent certain things from happening, and you're just saying it will not happen in my family. It's like when parents say, my children are in God's hands, so I'm just looking up to God so that my children will turn out well. I don't understand. God has given you children. He has made you a steward. You are responsible. God is not going to come down from heaven to parent your children. Now, it's going to give you guidelines. When you open your ears to his instruction, he will instruct you. But you have the task to raise them. So when you say it will never happen in my family, so you're just there, you cross your hands and you wait for magic to happen. That even in their sleep, they will just receive ministrations and they know exactly what it is to do when it comes to boundaries, when it comes to be assertive, when it comes to having a healthy self-esteem, when it comes to have, what's the word now? And take responsibility when it comes to online activities or media activities. I just say it will not happen in my family. It's not possible. When the logo says, I love my child, is not a parenting strategy. You must have a strategy. You must have a blueprint, a working plan. Parenting is not just done by default. You must have a working plan. Abuse can happen anywhere, even from known people. Abuse can happen anywhere, even from known people, from people around you, people that are familiar to you. So it can happen anywhere, but you must take the right steps to prevent it from happening to your children. Now, the third myth is, if I teach this, I am encouraging sex. I said in the last conversation that sex education is not teaching the mechanics of sex. And I've defined and said a whole lot of what sex education is. You are teaching self-protection. You are teaching boundaries. You are teaching confidence. You are teaching assertion, respect, and not promiscuity. That is what you're teaching. You're equipping and empowering your child. When you are quiet about sex education, you're actually disempowering your child. And you make your child vulnerable to certain things. Vulnerable. Do I have people who are following me on this conversation? If you're actually following me on this conversation, can you give me your emoji, a thumbs up or something, so that I know that you are following me on this conversation? It's actually a myth. You need to start early. You need to start sex educating your child. It is so important. If you're actually following me, can I see your thumbs up? Can I know you are there so that I know you're with me? Now, child sexual abuse is not just when an adult have or has sex with a child. Now, sexual activity can be touching or not touching sexual activity. Yes. Most times we think that, thank you so much. Most times we think that sexual abuse is only when someone has sexual activity with a child. It's beyond that. There's touching and non-touching sexual abuse. Now, when we talk about touching sexual abuse, it actually involves a child's genitals being touched, making a child to touch someone else's genitals. I'm saying this so that you have knowledge, so that you know exactly and you know how to communicate and to guide your children. Playing sexual games, putting objects into places they are not supposed to be put in a child's body, and using a child, taking in their mouth, wherever. That is touching sexual activity. When it comes to non-touching sexual abuse, it involves exposing your children to pornography. It involves photographing a child in sexual positions. It involves trafficking a child. That is non-touching sexual abuse. Trafficking a child, encouraging a child to watch and hear sexual acts, either in person or in videos. So you cannot expose, there are certain contents that we expose our children to, and we say it doesn't matter. And your child is there, and we're not even bothered. Your child is watching certain things, and you don't even take out time to look at what is this child actually watching. And you feel that sexual abuse is just limited to touching. It's beyond that. That child is being abused. That child is being abused. When a child is made to watch someone undress, or the child is forced to undress and somebody is there watching, that child is being abused, sexually abused. So we must guard our children, and that is why we must teach them. Body safety is very important. You must teach your children to understand, to respect, to honor, to value, and to protect their bodies. Very important. That is body safety. That is body safety. Now, a research published in The Lancet estimates that 18.9% of women and 14.8% of men worldwide experience sexual violence before the age of 18. My child will not be part of the statistics, the bad statistics. It's not a mere wish. It involves intentionality and being deliberate. You must be deliberate. When you have a child, you know that responsibility has been placed upon you. It is not a joke, because you have been entrusted with an individual that can make a change in, or cause a change in this world, and contribute positively to the positive outcome of this world. So you have been entrusted with a huge responsibility. So why do we have to teach body safety? Body safety helps our children to know that they are stewards of their bodies, and they are responsible to care for it and take ownership of it. Body safety helps our children to know that they have the right to say no to uncomfortable or wanted touch and access to their body. Body safety helps our children to become assertive and stand their ground on what is right, as it concerns placing value on their body. So it is so critical that we teach our children body safety. Now, when you equip them with body safety lectures or education, they can talk and confide in a trusted adult. We get to trusted adult, I believe, before the time elapses. They can confide and say, this is what I'm experiencing. This is what I'm going through. Do you know, it is so important that one key thing that is important when it comes to sex educating your children is trust. It is something that's so important. Your children will not open up to you if they don't trust you. Being a parent does not automatically confer upon you, in quotes, the right for your children to trust you. You have to earn the trust. And that is where connection comes into play. A lot of parents have children that don't tell them nothing. They don't tell them anything that is happening in their lives. And a lot of things are going on in their lives. And they go out there and they talk to someone else. Because to them, that is their safety network. But you should have children that can confide in you. Trust is vital when it comes to sex conversation. And you do not build trust by just sitting there and telling your child, don't you know I'm your father? Don't you know I'm your mother? When you begin to say something, sometimes when people say that, I'm like, is it that they're forgetting that they are the father or the mother? Because when you keep breathing down the child's throat, I am your mother. Don't you know I'm your father? I'm wondering. And you saying that does not still mean the child will still open up to you. So trust is vital. It is important. Now, what is the importance of the subject body safety? It is empowering and a crucial life skill that could save your children from irreversible damage of sexual abuse or exploitation. Irreversible. When I say irreversible, a lot of children or some children have gone through sexual abuse and they've ended up being traumatized to the point that the trauma has been carried into their homes. And their trauma is traumatizing their own children. And before you know, it becomes a roller coaster. So you save your children a level or some level of pain and trauma by teaching them these things. Now, it builds self-confidence and self-awareness, the ability for them to recognize behaviors, their emotions, and know how it impacts them and others. So it's important you teach body safety. It promotes healthy boundaries and respect for others, encourages open communication, equips children to be able to recognize and respond to inappropriate behavior, helps children understand their rights over their bodies. Yes, we'll continue on this conversation. If you're here today, share the link of this conversation because everyone needs to be here. Because the world is going so fast and a lot of things are happening. Every day you begin to hear stories here and there and you're wondering what is happening. But if we equip our children with the right tools, they will be prepared for what is out there. So share the link to your friends and family. Let them be part of this conversation right now. So what are the core aspects of body safety? Core aspects of body safety. Number one, private body parts. Yes, we're going to talk about private body parts. Now you must ensure that you teach your children the correct names of their body parts. Use the real anatomical names for their genitals and not pet names. Okay. Now, can you drop on the comment section names you call, maybe you call pet names or you have heard people call genitals and they've taught their children to call them that because they are avoiding saying the real name. And you know the funny thing, they are body parts. I said that in the last conversation. They are body parts. Now, you hear people say a lot of things. You're trying to tell your son that he needs to wee in the toilet something, and I say, you have to, you have to guard your thing. And I'm wondering, what is thing? The child does not understand. You're not calling the body parts. It is a body part. And it's because as parents, we're not even comfortable to call the body parts. You have to be comfortable enough to say, this is your breast. This is your penis. This is your vagina. This is your vulva. You must be comfortable enough to be able to call names. Because one of the good things about doing this is because, especially for your young children, they can be able to communicate properly to you if probably someone has touched them inappropriately. So they know exactly what they're saying because they've been taught. Because they've been taught. My daughter knows exactly what to say. Because she has been taught. So as parents, be comfortable. You know, sometimes we make these things look like it's like you're just trying to cover it and make it look, and the children want to now find out what is happening there. What is happening there? Say it the way it is. Thank you so much, Ito Asarime. Say it. It is a body part. Parents, say it the way it is. If you are not comfortable, go and stand in front of your mirror and say, this is my eye. This is my nose, this is my mouth, this is my ear. Continue until you're comfortable. Because if you're not comfortable, you will not be able to teach your child. It is a body part. So it is important that we ensure we teach our children the correct names of their body parts. So that they don't make mistake and
They're saying something and people are confused. What are they saying? And they're saying something else. But you understand because that's the name you call it in your house. But is that the name? So one thing you can do for your children, especially the young ones, you can draw and label or use pictures of body parts for them to learn the different body parts. So it helps. Let's call the names the way it is. Call it. When you're trying to sex educate your children, you can start telling them the way it is. I remember when I was trying to sex educate my child at the age of 2, when I was trying to teach her a body part, vagina. There was a way I called it that it was not outrightly called vagina. There was a way, but you will know that's what she's saying. And now she's grown, she knows that body part. If you tell her to touch, okay, where are your privates? Name them. She will call it for you. So she knows that tomorrow, if somebody, she knows what she's saying. And if she's saying it, I will know she knows what she's saying because she knows the correct name of the body part. So it's not a joke. So teach them the correct anatomical name. Very important. Teach them that their private parts, where their private parts are. Teach them which parts are private, which parts are public. So that they don't go out exposing themselves, or they don't go out and with play. People are playing and they're laughing and they're joking. They should know what is private part. Some people will say the private part, the part that is covered by your swimsuit. So let them know their private parts. Even the young ones, they should be able to tell you where their private parts. They should be able to say, my body is private. This is my private part. It cannot be touched. It is not exposed. It is my body. And you should also teach them that their mouth is also a private zone. Their mouth. People should not just come around and be kissing your children up and down. For what? You know, most times people don't understand boundaries. You see people just carry people's children and just, what is it? Their boundaries. Their boundaries. So teach them also, their mouth is also a private zone. It's also a private zone. So it's important. Teach them the parts of their body that is private. Teach them that no one has a right to touch or ask to see their private parts. And if someone does that, they must communicate to you or a trusted adult. No one has a right to do that. Even if it's an adult, they don't have a right to tell them to that they want to see their private parts or show me your private part. And it happens a lot in schools. Maybe the younger ones, you see them, they think it's a game. And you see some children raising their dresses, taking off their, no, teach your children boundaries. Even at age 2, don't raise your dress. And I say, look at my panties. Look at, and you're wondering, the children think they are joking. It is not a joke. If you teach your children from the house, they will know that no, I am not meant to expose my privates. And you will see the child talking with so much confidence because the child has been taught at home. Boundaries. Very important. So teach them. Teach them. It is important. And if they are touched wrongly or inappropriately, they should report to a trusted adult, to you or a trusted adult. You know, you'll not always be there with them. I'll get to trusted adults. Now, body stewardship is so important. It's so important that you teach your children body stewardship and body autonomy. They must understand these things. Body stewardship and body autonomy. That's what teaches them boundary. Now, body autonomy, that they own their body. But I say that true body autonomy comes from understanding of body stewardship. What does body stewardship say? Your body is not your own. Your body was given to you by God. You are a steward over that body. And the way you treat that body matters because it is not yours. You are a steward. So when you understand that this body was given to you by God, you are a steward. It gives you the mindset that you have proper knowledge to own your body, to take care of it, and to protect it. So they must understand body stewardship and then body ownership or autonomy. It is very important. So body safety affirmations for children. Teach them body safety affirmations. Repetition brings about retaining. You must keep reinforcing what you are saying, positive reinforcement. Let them keep saying it. As they say it, for children, you can look for the songs and they're singing and they're dancing. You think they're joking. It's going and sinking into their subconscious. My body is private. When my daughter was about like 2, 3, I used to tell her, she always says, my body is private. I like, say, my body is private. My body is not a toy. My body is private. My body is not a toy. So it became a normal thing that she could say. And even as she's growing, there are other better body affirmations because sex education has to be age appropriate. As they begin to grow, they begin to unravel or reveal to them more information. You don't give them everything at once. In the last conversation, I said it is a process. It is a process. So you don't just sit and say, okay, I'm going to teach you everything right now. 2 years old, you're looking at the child will be confused. The child will walk away from you. So teach them body affirmations. My body belongs to God. I am a steward of my body. My body belongs to me. I take ownership of it. No one has the right to touch me in a way that feels uncomfortable. Can say no even to grown-ups. I don't keep bad secrets. I can tell someone I trust if I feel scared, touch strongly, or feel uncomfortable. I will listen to my feelings. They keep me safe. I am strong. I am bold. I am special. My body is special. I will take good care of it. Affirmations. As you begin to speak those words, they sink into the subconscious. They become the child's reality. Teach them age-appropriate affirmations, and it guides them. So when there are situations, they remember, my body is special. I am still one of my body. My body belongs to God. So they understand. Now, what do you teach them again? You teach them that if someone asks to touch their own private parts, that's the other person, or shows them their private part, or shows them pornographic images, it is very wrong, and they must communicate to a trusted adult. They don't just sit there and say, and like, oh, and they smile. You must teach them. When my daughter, I have to use the example a lot because sometimes some people, when they have younger children, they feel that all these things does not apply to them. It does apply to them. There was something I used to show good picture, bad picture. So I share some picture and like, this is bad picture, this is good picture. So even now she's and she says, that is a good picture, that is a bad picture. We can watch that. There was a day she was somewhere, I think they were watching something, and she came to me and like, no, I can't watch, that's bad. Just keep children that if, for example, someone engages with them in inappropriate behavior, when they are communicating to you or communicating to a trusted adult, they should keep saying it until they are heard. Because sometimes adults tend to dismiss a lot of things and say, look at this much, what are you saying? You don't know anything. And the child goes and the child is not listened to. Emphasize, keep saying it until you're heard. Before we know, we push our children to the abusers and they are there. So let us wake up and teach our children. Now, safe versus unsafe touch. Remember what I said, that sexual activity can be touching, it can be non-touching. Sexual abuse can be touching, it can be non-touching. So what is safe touch and what is unsafe touch? Now, safe touch makes you feel loved, cared for, and safe. Example, a hug from a loving parent, a gentle pat on the back that well done, you tried, you've done well. It's a safe touch. An unsafe touch makes you feel scared, uncomfortable, confused, hurt. For example, someone touching a child's private parts or kissing someone without consent. Why? So you must teach them safe touch and unsafe touch. And when you discuss this with them, you must make them know that when they are in scenarios when they are not comfortable and becomes unsafe touch, they have a right to say no, even to a grown-up. Stop trying to manipulate your children sometimes when people want to hug them. And the child is like uncomfortable and doesn't want to be hugged. They're like, hug now. Why can you not hug? Those things that you do, you try to teach the child that the child has a right to say no. As little as the child doesn't want to be hugged and you let the child be, you're teaching the child boundaries, you're teaching the child assertiveness, you're teaching the child that you have a right to say no. So they are important. One thing you can do in all of this to communicate better to your children is to replace safe and unsafe touch. You can be the instructor, you can be the adult, your child is the child. And you replace a safe touch. You hug the child and you expect, okay, what will be the reaction of the child? The child reacts, you have conversations with the child, and maybe you correct some things. Okay, this is how you'd have done it. Or on unsafe touch, you try to tell the child reacts in a certain way, or maybe the child now smiles. So you have a conversation with the child, you tell the child, okay, this is what is expected. You stand your ground, you say no, you walk away, you go tell the trusted adult. So you have role play scenarios. Role playing is a good way to teach your children certain things. So you can role play scenarios when you are in an uncomfortable position and someone is trying to harass you when someone is trying to touch you inappropriately, when you don't feel comfortable with a touch, you role play these scenarios for the child, and the child gets the information. Now, another thing you need to do when it comes to body safety is talk about good secrets and bad secrets. Yeah, good secrets and bad secrets. Discourage your children from keeping secrets, bad secrets. Someone told me a while ago that evil strives in secrecy. Perpetrators of sexual abuse rely heavily on children keeping secrets in order for them to wreak more havoc. And that is why when people sexually abuse children, you find out most times they threaten the children and always tell them to keep it as a secret, and they threaten them because they will continue abusing that child as long as it is kept a secret. You must teach your children to understand what is a good secret and what is a bad secret. Now, a good secret that is not detrimental to one's health, the overall well-being of a person or another, or is not evil. For example, a surprise birthday party. Somebody's about to throw a surprise birthday party, and they say, okay, no, nobody tells anybody about this. And that's a good secret now. It's not going to harm anybody. It's for the betterment of everybody. But a bad secret is a secret that conceals evil, harm, abuse, and is detrimental to one's mental health and can cause disaster, loss, or harm physically, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, spiritually to someone and even to those around them. That's the bad secret. For example, when someone asks you not to tell about touching, about photos, nude photos that they've taken of you, or behaviors that make you uncomfortable or make the child ultimately feel wrong and bad, that's a bad secret. So you tell your children the difference, and they should be bold enough to speak. But the truth is that, like I said, trust is a vital commodity in this conversation. Now, you're telling your children, be bold enough to speak. They don't trust you. They don't even trust your reaction. I said in the last conversation that you should be the non-judgment, non-shame, or no judgment, no shame zone for your child. So your child should be able to come to you and bear themselves and say, this is what I am going through. And they will feel they will not be shamed, they will not be labeled, and they will not feel less. So when you're communicating, you must communicate. Don't just say, okay, come to me. And when they come to you, they just say, mommy. Before they even say, mommy or daddy, hey, you want to finish our family name. Hey, in this family, we don't behave like this. So if you were the child, will you talk again? You wouldn't. So that's why I was saying something about wisdom. You must have wisdom. You know, sometimes your child may be telling you some things and it's like you're boiling. Hey, this child made this kind of mistake. You are boiling inside of your face. I said, The expression is not showing anything. It takes a lot of emotional intelligence and mastery of your emotions to do that. So inside you're wondering, but I taught you better now. How come you do this? You're okay. And so what happens? And what happens? And the child begins to continue to talk to you. It takes a lot. But you know, that's what builds a lot of connection. And the child becomes so comfortable that even in the low of their lowest time, they know that they can come to you and open up. So it's important. So teach your children good secrets and teach them bad secrets. They should not hide bad secrets. They should be able to talk and voice out. A lot of children have been abused for years, and they live in the same homes with their parents, and nobody knew about it. And one of the reasons I said something that someone wrote that 95% of cases of sexual abuse would have been avoided or averted if there was education and awareness. And education starts with you. Are you with me on this conversation? If you're with me, you have comments, you have questions, you can drop on the comment section. I believe we're having, we're learning a thing or two from this conversation, and it's very important, and it's good that you're here with me on this conversation today. So if you're actually with me on this conversation, I want to feel that people are there listening to me. If you're actually here with me on this conversation, you have comments, you have questions, you can drop on the comment section. You can share the link right now. We are almost we're more than halfway through this conversation. You can share the link to your friends, your families, invite them to join this conversation right now. So it's so important. Body safety is needed. It's needed. You know, some of us as parents, these things were not taught by our parents. Most of the things we knew, we learned on the go. We learned on the go. But, you know, sometimes we blame our parents for certain mistakes they made, And you look at your life as a parent and you're wondering, am I making the same mistakes? But you cannot correct the mistakes of the past or try to correct history if you don't sit down and look through what are you doing now? What changes can I make? What deliberate efforts or actions can I put in place so that I don't go in the same pathway that my parents went that yielded this result that I'm not proud of? So we must be ready. You must be ready. A generation is in your hands. Yes, there are kings and there are priests in your homes. We are not joking. Parenting is not a mediocre work. It is a work of responsibility, full-time responsibility. So it is important. Teach them good secret and bad secret. Make sure that your children or your child knows that if someone asks them, okay, to keep an inappropriate secret, they must tell you or someone in their safety network. I'll get to trusted adults and safety network. They must tell you, they must speak up. There must be somebody they should speak up to. Emphasize speaking up. Emphasize them talking. They should be able to speak up. And speaking up is not only when it comes to the issue of sexual abuse. They should be able to speak up for themselves. When they're in a place and they need to stand for themselves and even for their opinions, they should be bold enough to speak up. But you must teach them. Confidence. Confidence, it is critical. Now, safety rules. Safety rules, we'll talk about that. My body belongs to God, my body belongs to me. There are good and bad touches. No one should make me keep a bad secret and the rest. Let us go to trusted adults. Let's go to trusted adults. Your child's safety network. That is trusted adults. Your child's safety network. Now, a trusted adult is someone, a child or teen can go to for help, safety or advice, especially if they feel scared, confused, uncomfortable or safety. Someone a child can go to, can run to for help, safety and advice, especially when they feel scared, confused, uncomfortable about something related to their body or relationship or their safety. So that is who a trusted adult is. And you must have a safety network as trusted adult for your child or your children. And they should know these persons. Now, some of us do not have people that our children know or they know they can run to in cases of emergencies, in cases where there's the safety is being threatened and probably you are not reachable. We need to create a safety network for our children. Who are the persons that can make up the trusted adults or the safety network in the life of your child? You must be able to have people that align or have the same value system as you, that believe in the same things that you believe, that have the same sexual beliefs or standpoint as you to make up the safety network of your child. And you need to do that. You should be able to generate probably a list of 3 to 5 trusted adults for your child, and you make them known to your children, and they should know that they are in the safety network for your child. But the truth is that sometimes as your child begins to grow older, they begin to bond with people, they begin to connect with people, they can begin to create their own safety network and even add trusted adults to their safety network, people they can open up to, they can run to for advice. But it's important that you have a safety network for your children. Everybody, let me say this now, everybody that even goes to the same church as you may not necessarily fit into the safety network for your child because you may not have the same value system. You may not stand on the same sexual beliefs. So you must be critical and take it seriously when you're selecting the trusted adults or the people that make up the safety network for your child, because they can run and reach out to these people and these people can speak into their lives. And as they begin to say these words, they are seeds that are planted in them. So you must look very well. You must be critical about it. Which people do you want to expose your children to? That you want to bring into their safety network? That you want to bring into that confidential aspect of their lives? You must be critical about this. Okay, someone is asking me, how do you know the supposed trusted adult is a good person? Now, a trusted adult is not somebody that comes out of blues. It's not somebody that you have never related with. I cannot walk on the street and see a stranger and say, okay, I like your looks. Oh, I like your beauty. Oh, you dress well. I think you should be the trusted adult for my child. How now? There must be this relationship you've had with these persons. There must be connection. These people must already be in your space somehow. So you must know these people to a level. You don't just pick people because you like their face or you like the way they write. Or you just see that they drop a lot of quotes or maybe their WhatsApp status or social media page. No, it goes beyond that. Now, there are certain qualities you have to look for in a trusted adult. You must have related with these people. You must have known their values. You must have known their standpoints. You must have known where they are headed to. Can my child fit into their picture? Can they raise my child? Do they have a picture that is similar to what I have for my child to become? So it's not a random pick. It is not. It's not like a probability one. It's not a random thing. It's not what they call it now. You know, these games that you just play and you spin the wheel and say, okay, wherever it falls, we pick. No, it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. So what then are the qualities? Oh, wow. What then are the qualities you should look for in a trusted adult? Okay, let me pause on that. Is it right for me to advise my child to fight anyone that touches them in an unsafe what? Okay. I can't, okay, in an unsafe body, okay, maybe in an unsafe way before reporting to a trusted adult. To fight, please. You know what played in my head now? The child begins to fight and they beat your child. And they now beat your child and injure your child. My dear, if your child is touched in an inappropriate way, tell your child, first of all, to stand up for themselves, to walk away, and to look for a trusted adult. Look for a trusted adult. Because even the fighting and fighting that person is not going to solve anything there and then. Because it goes beyond the fighting. The issue has to be addressed. A child or maybe an adult touched your child inappropriately. Let me imagine, if it's an adult, can your child fight that person? Because if you bring about the fighting scenario, probably someone in their age range. But it may not likely be somebody with the child fight. So you should be able to teach your child to be able, in that kind of situation, say no, walk away, find a way, walk away, and look for a trusted adult to speak with that trusted adult. And you know, when you begin to sex educate your children, there are sometimes they begin to pick signals around them that they begin to know that this person is heading towards this direction and this is what this person may likely do to me. Their sensitivity becomes alert. And that's not only brought by even conversations. When you begin to, a wholesome child is a child that is nourished spiritually also. So the child begins to discern. That's a conversation for another day. So your child begins to know that the moves this person is making, the way this person is talking to me, the way this person is, I think I need to give a distance. Because most times, inappropriate touching doesn't happen in the open. Most times, it doesn't. You cannot just see a person just raise the child's dress and just, in public. Most times it doesn't. Sometimes it happens in the private, in places that other people may not be able to see. So it's not, the fighting does not solve anything. It doesn't solve anything. They should report. They should say no. They should stand for themselves. Walk away. Look for a trusted adult. And talk. Keep reporting until they are believed. And the trusted adult should be able to take action. And that is why I'm talking about, you don't just pick in random people as trusted adults. Yes. Now, what are the qualities you look for in a trusted adult? What are the qualities? And in the first place, you don't want to raise children that are violent. Because you can tell your child that the way is that fight the person first. And the child begins to apply that same, response to every aspect of their lives. Someone offends the child, okay, the first thing I have to react, I have to fight. I have to prove something now. And you begin to find out that, okay, because you said it in this way, the child doesn't know, okay, that's the way to respond to that, to any situation that happens around them. So a trusted adult, what are the qualities to look for in a trusted adult? A trusted adult is not just chosen by title alone, but by character and certain qualities that sets them apart. He or she should be able to make your child feel safe, respected, and supported. Now, let me give you some qualities. He or she should be one that loves God and understand what it truly means to be a steward, a servant. Parenting is about stewardship. Parenting is stewardship. I think that's the right thing to say. Parenting is stewardship. So this person must love God. Yes. And must be able to be ready to be of service to your child in a positive way. This person should genuinely love your child and like your child. Because there are times your child will mess up and run to this person. And the person may be in that mood. If the person does not love or like your child, it will not be funny. So the person must be able to love and like your child, to be able to accommodate the excesses. You know, it says love covers a multitude of sin. To be able to accommodate the excesses. This person should be able to listen without judgment. Now, I said as parents, you should be the no judgment and no shame zone for your child. The trusted adults should be the same. There should not be people that, what's the word now, label the child. So the child comes and confides in them and they just label the child. That child is a spoiled child though. Spoiled child. Just spoiled child. And they just label the child because the child has come to confide in them. So there should be people that listen without judgment, pays attention when the child speaks. So when the child comes, there should be people that be ready to hear out the child. Not like, I don't have time, no, this meeting is time, this meeting is time. There should be people that are ready. And that's where genuinely loving and liking your child comes into play. Because when they truly genuinely love your child, they will sit and walk that child through that challenge or problem. Now, one that does not interrupt, label, or blame, he or she makes the child feel heard. You know how it feels when you feel heard. You feel good, even when you're in a bad situation. It just gives you a sense of lifting. Believes and supports your child. Should take your child's words seriously, not shutting them down or accusing them of lying. The child has not said anything. Say, shut up. That's how you are. That's how you are. So these are things that makes up a great, and it's qualities that you should have as a parent. Because you should not be shutting your children down. Sometimes your children just come to you, they're not saying, shut up, what do you know? Small shout. What do you know? And you hush your child. You keep hushing your child. Do you know the message you're passing to that child? You don't have a voice. So the child even goes to school, and when they're asking questions, or the child knows what, the child is not saying anything. Because in the child's mind, I don't have a voice. I don't have anything to say. I don't have an opinion. So you keep hushing them out. Shh, don't say anything. Shh, don't say anything. Respond calmly and take appropriate action to keep your child safe. Protect your child. Keeps your child safe. Knows what to do when there is danger or who to make reports to. Does not keep unsafe secrets. A trusted adult should not even keep unsafe secrets. No. Because that unsafe secret is detrimental to the well-being of that child. The child may need help. And it's not all help the person may be able to give to that child. Some help may be medical. Some can be psychological. So, the person should not keep unsafe secrets. Act in the child's best interest, respect boundaries, never forces hugs, kisses, or physical contact. That the person is the child's trusted adult doesn't mean that you will force the child, you want to hug by force. No, the child has to be comfortable. Comfortable. Teaches by example what consent and respect looks like. Dependable, consistent. There are a whole lot of qualities you can find in trusted adult, but one very important one, the person must be emotionally and psychologically stable too, please. Spiritually stable, very important. Don't go and give your children to people that it's very important to please. But one key quality you must look out for is that the values. Do they align with your values? Very important. Do they align with your values? We're gradually coming to the end of this conversation. Yes, we're gradually coming to the end of this conversation. So I believe we have learned a thing or two from this conversation. And the truth is that some of us may actually be doing some of these things already, but you can improve upon it. You can take it more seriously. You can make it serious and more intentional with it. So you begin to have conversations. I said when I was starting, it's not lecturing, it's conversations. And you're talking to them, you're responding, you say something, the child repeats back to you. So you understand, it makes you understand that they understand what you're saying, they comprehend what you're saying. So it's very, very important that we do that. Now, there are examples of trusted adults, excuse me, as a parent or a guardian, even teachers in schools, they can stand in the stead of trusted adults because during the school period, the children are something happens to you in school. You say, wait till mommy comes before the child. It happens there. Look for the teacher and report. And even when you report also, so the child is not there waiting that hey, God, let me wait. If mommy don't, and mommy traveled, until mommy come, I will not say anything. So they should have an understanding. Trusted adults around them. They should be able to report cases to their teachers. They should be able to report cases. School counselors are there. Good counselors that understand the emotional, the psychological, the physical well-being of a child, that can give good advice, that can accommodate. Relatives, not all relatives, please. Relatives that share the same values with you, mentors, coaches, and the rest. So it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. Now, one activity idea is to, for you on Trusted Adults, is to develop a safety circle chart with your children, naming the trusted adults and saying things that probably they like about them. So your children must be comfortable with the people you are picking, especially when they are young. They should be comfortable with those people that you are picking for them as trusted adults. Because when they are young, they can't make those decisions primarily by themselves. So you talk about it. You create a safety circle chart so they know these are the trusted adults. And sometimes you can ask them, what do you like about this person? They say, and then are you comfortable with this person? Ah, this auntie, no, used to shout anyhow. Ah, this auntie, when you see me, she pulls my cheek. I will not go. So it's a conversation. So you can develop that. It is a safety circle chart in your home. Okay, how do I get the body affirmation? You want to get the body affirmation? Okay. Okay, that's Itoa Osareme. Okay, just send us a DM that you want the body affirmation. I'll see what we do about that. So, okay, thank you everyone for joining this conversation. Do we have questions? Do we have any comments? Do we have any more things to say? It's 8 o'clock in Nigeria, West African time, and it's time for us to be done with this conversation. I believe you have had an amazing time. You have been educated, you have been informed, you have been enlightened, and these things you have heard, you put them into use because it's not only hearing, but it's he that hear it and do it. So I believe that it's going to make a difference in your home. It's going to bring about a transformation and change in the life of your family, of your children. So it's very important. Now we can share the link of our YouTube channel. I said earlier when we were starting that we're going to be airing our SOP Online Conversations now on our YouTube channel. So you can send the link to your friends and your family so that when we have when we're live, when we drop materials, they can be notified. They can click on the notification button so they are the first to know about it. So do share the link. Do follow us on SOP Online Conversation. It holds every last Monday of every month. We are here. Sometimes we have guests. So look out for the next conversation. Next month, it promises to be an amazing conversation. Yes, soon as we're going to drop what the topic is about and a lot of things. And if you think that you have a topic you want us to dwell upon, you can send a DM. We can look into it. If you have questions, you can send a DM to us. We'll definitely respond to you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me on this conversation. Thank you so much. You have been amazing. It has been good having you here. I am Kitty Ahmed, the convener of School of Parenting. Do have a beautiful evening, afternoon, morning, depending where you're watching me for. Bye for now. Bye, everyone.